Okay, now let's take care of your back, your lower back. That's probably the main reason that most people sign up for my prenatal yoga classes is backache and pregnancy. So this is easy. You do this every day. It's not going to take you long at all. First, whenever you're sitting, even in a chair, in your car, sit up on something that is about this thick. You could use a pool noodle. You could roll up a towel, put it behind you in your car, in your seat on your car. But just try to get your hips a little higher than your knees. Now, we're going to start on our hands and our knees. Take your knees a little bit wider than your hips and inhale right up into a cow stretch. That means lifting the shoulders, lifting the sit bones, and letting the spine drop down towards your mat. And then as you exhale, round your back. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Tuck your tailbone towards the mat. Round the back up towards the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Cow stretch. Exhale. Cat stretch. As you get bigger into that third trimester, this cat stretch gets a little bit harder. You probably feel a lot of pressure as you curl around your baby. But remember that curl around your baby because you got to curl around that baby to push that baby out. So it's good to get your body ready. Move with your breath. So see if you can do 10 to 15 of those in the morning, 10 to 15 at the end of the day before you go to bed. The other thing that you can do, now you can do this two ways. Got heartburn, I would stay on your hands. If you don't have heartburn, it sometimes makes it a little easier to come down onto your forearms. And you're going to do pelvic rocks by tilting the tailbone up and tucking the tailbone under. Tilting up and tucking under. There's a famous midwife named Ina May Gaskin who wrote a wonderful book called Ina May's Guide to Childbirth. She's written a couple of different books, but that's a good one for anyone to read. Ina May's Guide to Childbirth by Ina May Gaskin. Tilting up and tucking under. She says you should do 150 of these every single day. Now, I always tell my students, do 50 in the morning, 50 either the middle of the day or when you get home from work, and then 50 right before you go to bed. And that's a little bit more doable, but when you think 150, boy, that's an awful lot. These are pelvic rocks, tilting the tailbone up and tucking the tailbone under. There's another way to do those, and you can do these in your first trimester. So I'm going to swing my legs around here towards the front of my mat. If I'm not in my first trimester, or even if I am, get into the habit of lying on your side first, then on your back, and then all the way down. Feet are hip width apart. Maybe you can get your heels close to your buttocks. You can do pelvic rocks just like this. So you're going to tilt the tailbone up towards the ceiling and then tuck the tailbone down towards the mat. So if you put your hands, if you tilt that tailbone down towards the mat, you can slip your hands in there. But now as I tuck my tailbone up towards the ceiling, I can't get my hands in there. My whole back is in contact with the mat. So you can even put your hands on your hip bones and feel you tilting the tailbone down, tilting the tailbone up, tilting down, tilting up. Now, a lot of people in their second and third trimester might not be able to do this on their back. So you can start in your first trimester and then move to your hands and your knees. One more that you can do every single day that'll strengthen your back. Again, you're going to come onto your hands and your knees. Make sure your knees are underneath your hips and your hands are underneath your shoulders. Starting out very slow, extend the right foot straight back, push out through the heel of the right foot. The next thing I want you to do is tuck your tailbone down towards the mat. You'll feel your belly working. Extend your arms through the gateway of your arms. Think of your arms as a gateway, and then extend your left hand with your thumb up and then lift your right leg. Bring your hand, your knee down and round your back. Tuck the chin to the chest. Extend the left foot. Tuck the tailbone under. Extend the chest through the gateway of the arms. Extend the right hand, lift the left leg. And then exhale, bring the hand, the knee down and round the back. One more time, nice and slow. Extend the foot. Tuck the tailbone. Extend the chest. Extend the arm. Lift the leg. Opposite leg, down and round the back. Left leg, tailbone tucks, chest extends, right arm extends, left leg lifts. Now, lift the opposite arm and leg as you inhale and bring them down and round your back in a cat stretch as you exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale And exhale. Inhale. One more time on each side. Now walk your hands 6 inches out in front of the line of your shoulders and lift yourself up into downward dog. Take your feet as wide as your mat or as wide as your belly needs you to for your baby. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Bring your hands to your shins. Make sure you've got a tiny little bend in those knees. Lengthen the spine. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. You're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Now cross your arms, or you can cup the opposite elbow with each hand. Now, if you've got heartburn, this is not going to feel good. I wouldn't do this. I would just stick with the first cat-cow, the pelvic rock, and the opposite arm and leg lift, which is called the bird dog pose. You can hold this full forward fold as long as feels comfortable for you. And when you're ready to come out, you can let your hands drop towards the mat. Walk your hands forward. Lower your knees down to the mat nice and wide, bringing the big toes to touch. Come all the way back to child's pose. When you get to that 3rd trimester, child's pose not quite as easy as it was. So take a block and rest your forehead on the block so that your arms and shoulders can relax. Your back can relax. And you can sit back onto your heels. Take a deep, deep breath here. And exhale. One more. Audible sigh. Good. Feel free to stay where you are, or feel free to do another round. You do that every day, I would bet you're not going to have much back discomfort during your pregnancy. You can have a good, strong back and recover from your pregnancy pretty well. So get to work.